Yay.
Hi, welcome to Cutscene. If you're doing this right, you're about to meet three assholes who are really wondering what their ice cream flavor is. I'm Eric.
I'm Jason.
I'm chocolate.
No, you are very fucking vanilla. And welcome to Cutscene by I Beat It First.
Is there a white bread ice cream flavor? That's, I think, what
It's mashed
milk
potatoes and
toast.
it's mashed potatoes and boiled chicken.
Oh my lord.
I think
Oh
Ben
my.
Jerry's has that flavor.
Oh man, welcome in everybody. If you didn't
Ew.
get that reference, then you should probably go back and watch the anime so that you get the reference. But we are watching Junji Ito Maniac, Japanese Tales of the Macabre. And I'm just gonna say it. The first one fucking sucked.
This one sucked
Yeah.
so
It's
bad.
so fucking bad.
Like I was just like shit. Like I was legitimately like just pissed because we'd just be like, God damn it, Eric. Can we not like have just a decent show for like creepy shit? And that first episode
Yeah.
was such
So bad.
dog shit. It was
Episode
just
2,
like,
Yeah.
the first half was weird.
but good creepypasta. There was
But
good,
good
good stuff
creepypasta.
in there.
Mhm.
The second half was fucked up.
Best death. Best death was in the second
Best
half.
death
For
was
sure.
was the second half, the very end of episode 2. Best death. Episode 3 was pretty fucking weird.
Weird. I mean, that was a great Ito. Like
Yeah.
it was just like that was like definitely the thing
Oh yeah.
where it was just like the imagery was what was creepy. And those fucking your face, giant
Yeah.
head, death smiling at you is amazingly creepy, and that was great.
The first half of episode 4 sucked. It
I
was
mean, oh god, it's so annoying. I mean, it was back to like
Yeah.
anything to do with families just like seems to fall apart like
Yeah.
immediately. And like it was just like God, just someone punched that kid. Like I don't even care.
Oh yeah.
And even the end,
Yeah.
even the end of it was just like the fuck.
Yeah. But the last or like the last half of episode 4 was pretty fucking good. That
was
ending
good. That
that
was-
ending was pretty good. So
Yeah,
it's
the
it's
ending
not
was
bad. It's very much like
Yeah.
it's very much like really good or really shitty though. There is no middle ground in this anime so far with things like
Yeah.
that. It's
I mean, just thank God for episode 2, just because it was just like that's what I was just like, oh, good stuff there. I mean, when they finally showed like the light beings, passing through everything,
Yeah.
and then the light coming down the tunnel, I was just like, ooh, that's good. That's good creepypasta.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah.
that one
And
was
then
really good.
dropping your little sister on, like trying to drop it on you, and then
Oh,
just
yeah.
like molding into. I was just like, fantastic. This is so good.
Well, and I was watching it like the first time that they started sinking in, I'm like, is that just blood now appearing? Where like is it just a bloody wet spot where they went in and then where they came out and then when they went in again? Like it might have been ectoplasm at that point because of like, once they went back in, but yeah, ectoplasm, spooky ghost. It's a spooky ghost. But yeah, it was just like fuck when that started happening. Then it got a little weird, and then it got really good.
But let's all right, we got to talk
let's-
about episode 1.
Yeah,
Like let's talk about them all.
shitty
Let's talk about them
episode
all.
1.
I mean, episode 1 was just
Yeah.
so bad. It was just like there was nothing here, nothing creepy
No.
whatsoever. The creepiest thing was the little sister's old elderly man face
Oh
that was going on the
yeah.
entire time. I was just like, what is this creepy man smile that's going on with this little sister? And that was never addressed. She was just a piece of shit, crazy person. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
like
it's
when
just
she
like-
Shit out of her brother.
Yeah, when she slashed her fucking brother's face and ended
Right.
up with just like 4 big old scratches across for the rest of the anime. I was just like, fuck. It's like, am I supposed to be scared of this family or am I supposed to want to murder them? Because I think
Right, I
that's
wanted
what
them
he was
all
really
dead.
going for.
Murder
Yeah,
them.
like let me just kill all of them. I'll become the murderer in this entire anime and it'll be perfectly fine. Yeah, they did the whole thing of like it had a little bit of potential right at the beginning when it's like the guy's hitting on the girl, invites her over, she starts taking photos and getting getting like apparitions on the camera, which is like good, like that was working real well. But then the whole like fake possession of the younger brother
and him using wheat flour, and it's just like I like it went off the rails way too fast.
One, the wheat flour actually was kind of ingenious, but two, how much of that did he swallow beforehand
He's a big fat
to
guy.
regurgitate it? But that was so
big fat guy.
much. Dude, it was like 6 loaves of bread.
The real gross thing is that the creepy young girl was just like, this is never going to turn to mom. Look, it's all moldy and hard now. It's just like, yeah, cool. That's just my vomit.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll just do it again. Yeah,
He was playing with my vomit. I think it was mom.
Yeah, that
I hated everyone in that thing. Absolutely everyone in that thing. And you're right, Eric. Like the first 10 minutes, it was just like, okay, I could see this going somewhere. They never really delve into like the creepiness of the ghosts in the pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then when the dad finally is conjured up in like the most like Ghostbuster Slimer introduction you could ever have, it was then just like, blah, and I go back into the grave. No comeuppance. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just I think they got scared? Question mark? I don't know.
Maybe. What did we learn here? Nothing.
Nothing.
What's going to change?
Nothing.
Probably nothing. I don't know.
What happened? No idea.
No
like
idea.
like the reason why I think I'm more pissed off than anything else is because this is the first episode. So if you don't know or aren't watching some silly podcast or listening to some silly podcast that's telling you, hey, watch this.
Yes.
Like I would have watched that first one and been like, fucking done. I'm out.
I wouldn't have even finished it. I'd have gotten 15 minutes in and be like, all right, well, this is all going to be shit. I'll switch to something
100%.
else.
100%. I would have been like, this is trash. Like this is like this isn't even like good eat though. Like there's nothing here. I was just like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm out.
It was piss poor. It was shit. It's like a solid 2.
Yeah. I mean, that episode on a scale of 10, that episode was pointless, stupid, annoying more than anything else. And like, there's no, like, we're all dumber for watching it. Like, there's no benefit.
Yeah.
What? Like, there wasn't even anything creepy. There wasn't any death.
Nothing.
Yeah, there was no. There was
the creepiest
nothing.
thing was the family's faces.
Right, their faces. Like, they just all looked. Creepiest thing was them all saying bye to the eldest brother in the morning, and then her like man smile. I was just like I couldn't. I was just like,
well, there is.
Did they have like a stroke?
There was the one good-looking one, and that was it. The one that looked like mom.
Yeah.
The one that looked like normal, but then everybody else was just. Man, they looked like dad, and that's not to say that it's like, oh, if you look like your dad, you're ugly if you're a girl. Like, no, the dad was ugly and didn't make for an attractive man, which made for a very unattractive female, and also a very unattractive son that looked just like him as well.
Yeah.
It was just I don't even know why that episode even had to exist. Like I don't know what they were trying to convey. I don't know what like idea, like, because they went all over the place.
Yeah.
Like from him abusing the inheritance to taking revenge on the grave to the spooky camera action to seances that really were going nowhere to like the demon child. Like is just like they could have done so many more things instead of just like nah, like we're just gonna like have yellow orange Slimer and call it a day.
I think this was a play because they were like, okay, and I'm hoping that this is the case. They're like, all right, we've got 12 episodes. We have this really shitty one. Like it's really, really bad, but it's also the most normal anime one that's not going to be all of these other ones. Because like, could you put you might be able to put episode 2 as episode 1, maybe, and then throw episode 1 somewhere in there. But episode two, if that was the first one, people would get to the end of that episode, they'd be like, what?
I would have done 4, because 4 you have the calmer story of the kid with the nails in his mouth constantly was annoying and shitty, but that at least had some like imagery that was just kind of like, okay, there's something interesting going on here. The weirdness of making the tiny room, like that's totally Ito style. You know, I was expecting something more from that room. Like when he started getting tortured by the room, like I was like, here we go. Now he's gonna like run through the nails, go into the goop. It just was kind of disappointing that the solution was just, I'm gonna tell mom. And then that was the like, oh, you tell mom and that'll take care of everything. And then the brother's just gonna get tired of trying to annoy you and die. I have no idea what happened.
Yeah,
but that would have been a good first episode.
But the second part of that though, like
maybe
it should have been. Maybe it should have been
drawn you in more.
Well, so maybe it should have been the first part of episode 4 and then the first part of episode 2.
I think that would have been too long.
No, because they were half parts. So I mean,
the second half...
the first part of episode 4 was a little bit longer than just like a strict half. That's true. Because the second one was pretty short. I remember getting to the end of it. I'm like, oh, it's over already.
Right. The reason why I like that is because that was great.
Yeah.
Like being like, okay, that's fucked up and weird. And that's what I'm here for. Like that's what it is. And that would have brought me in to then go into episode 2 with like eyes wide open to then have a good creepypasta of the tunnel. And then the balloon heads, which was just comically amazingly weird.
Yes.
Like that was just like phenomenal fun of just like, this is absolutely devastatingly creepy, the idea of it. But like the idea of it also is just like, the fuck is going on?
Well, okay, so what I really liked about episode 3, the balloon heads one, is it was very much in the same ethos as the holes in the mountain face, that like it's like perfectly shaped to everybody, but instead of you going to the hole comes to you. And that's what I got out of it. Like it was very much like that, and it's like okay, this is cool because it's like that, but with a little bit of a twist on it, and it definitely was like real weird. The way that first head was set, because the first head's a severed head. There's no dangling from it. She hung herself, but then all of a sudden the giant heads start appearing and hanging people, and watching the head of the first girl that died and then her boyfriend who got hanged then try to make out as balloons in the sky. It was
hilarious.
I was watching that and I'm like sitting there on the couch and I'm like, I feel mildly uncomfortable with this. And this poor girl down in the park that's having to watch this happen while the dude's body is just flailing back and forth. And the head is just like, meh, 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 just hacking each other in the lips. It's like, holy shit. I'm surprised that she wasn't in a mental asylum like after that. Then she went to school.
She went to school like everything was fine.
School the next day.
Like where was this? Like first of all, where was this giant head hiding? Like it's just like I assume this is all taking place in Tokyo, which isn't exactly like unpopulated. So it's just like, where on earth would it have just been like chilling out?
Well, they come from the sky.
No, but like the first one, because everyone's just like, yeah, we keep seeing it. It's weird. Why are we keep seeing this thing? Like only at night, only at midnight, it shows up and stuff like that. I'm just like, what is it? Like landing in a field somewhere and just resting? Like that means whatever. It was just hilarious to me.
It's going back up to outer
space.
Like,
you see them all just like hanging out. Like, oh shit, they're just hanging out, flying around everywhere.
Yeah. They'll just chilling.
The four of them, the 4 of them coming down. That was amazing. Was
that
like,
was the first point.
Just they have like the biggest like smiles on them, like we're gonna come murder you, and it's just like, oh, that is horribly fucked up.
Oh, and then the guy's like shoots the crossbow.
Oh yeah,
and then you see her face.
Yeah, her face starts to deflate. Not even that her face starts deflating just like it. It actually gets a puncture and deflates out the side.
So it's
But
like, oh, if you try to kill it, you'll die that same way.
yeah, it's connected to you.
You're screwed.
It's yours. That's your
Yeah.
head.
Yeah, that's your head.
I love the
Your
news
head blew.
reporter being like, Jesus, there's like so many like dead heads and bodies hanging out. I should like just put my neck out a little bit more. That one looks like mine. Wonder what could be happening. And it's just like, dude, did you not see?
And then it just comes
I
down
guess I'll-
like,
I guess I'll
noose
die on
around the neck.
And there you go.
Watch
It's
me
like,
die on
good
live
job, man.
TV.
Good job.
God, who needs a high or a college diploma to be a news reporter? Apparently,
Exactly.
nobody. But yeah, it's
See,
like
we'll
so
give you $10 to go out there.
you
Yeah,
well,
ridiculous.
so you get into that point, like you're watching it, and it's like the girl and then the boyfriend, and you're like, okay, like something
Mhm.
weird's happening, Romeo Juliet type thing, and
Mhm.
like, yeah. But then when those four show up, you're like, oh, they're coming for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the sheer like smiles on their face right before they kill you, because they did it even at the end of it when the girl like opens up the window, and then like her head comes down. But at that same point, as soon as you open the window up and you see your dead brother's body hanging from his
That was
head,
great, though.
you close the window.
Hanging
You don't
with
stand there
the
for 30
umbrella.
seconds. Yeah, with the umbrella in it.
And the brother's just like,
Also, like people were walking around with knives, being like, "Yoink!" Like just the second.
Well, and the brother had a good idea when he threw that umbrella into it and it opened
Yeah.
up, and it's like, ha ha, I got away. But yeah, no, that didn't help it. But yes, you would think that
No.
like people would be using knives and cutting them down.
I'll find you.
But I think for her, it was just like the lines of like, "You're out of food. You have nothing to do for. Everyone you know, and
Everyone
everyone's
else
dead.
is
And there's a
dead.
giant murderous balloon coming after you.
Yeah.
And they're now
Trying to talk
parading
to you.
your dead brother.
Open up.
Yeah, exactly, and they're
You
talking.
wanna
That would be the
open up
worst
the
part.
Yeah.
door.
Oh yeah, because it was just talking. Like they were just talking to her through
Yeah.
through the window. We know that you're there by
Mhm.
yourself. We know you're out of food. We'll give you food.
Open up.
Oh man, but yeah, the whole
Open
crossbow thing
up.
is just one of it's one of those funny things that you don't think about. Guns are outlawed in Japan. So of course, random dude is gonna have a fucking crossbow.
Ready to go. He's got it for his cosplay.
Yep.
He's got it for his, I don't know, his convenience store holdups. Do they hold up convenience stores there? Does that actually happen in Japan? I don't know. People love
with
their
crossbows.
convenience stores. But like, do they love them so much that they would never even think of holding up the convenience store? That seems kind of rude because they would be inconveniencing so many people.
Yeah.
God,
It's,
man.
it's sacred.
It is. Dude, convenience
sacred
stores are
ground.
sacred. When you go there, Jason, you are going to love it because you're just going to stop in and get just I want all the pictures of the most random ass like foods that you find in a 7-Eleven. And I want videos of you eating them. And I don't even care if we do an entire podcast episode of like all that we're doing is watching those videos together of like, check out the shit that Jason ate.
Do my best.
Jason
Yeah.
does Tokyo.
Yeah. He's going to be huge in Japan.
I will be. I'm already huge in America. Gotta put on them labels.
Okay, so let's go back to episode 2. The tunnel made very little sense with the whole like the singular light and the train.
Mhm.
And then you're also like, where the fuck is the dad? During all of this, because he goes in the search for the dad and the sister
Mhm.
and ends up in this whole other thing that has absolutely nothing to do with the first 5 minutes of that episode.
Yeah.
Well, I figured that the blood that dripped on him when he first walked in was from Dad being cave eaten,
Right.
whatever that it was that
'Cause
they're
he
doing.
found,
Yeah,
He found the flashlight.
right. So Dad was dead, but they decided not to use his body because it was less impactful, and that's why they only used a little sister to dangle around with blood gushing out of your eyes. That was fantastic. But yeah, the whole like your mom disappeared in there and your trauma of all that. Then the whole like, hey, this is actually like a research facility for solar rays, and it's just like, okay, like
Underground in a tunnel.
yeah, okay.
Makes total sense.
And then and again another picture, and it was just like, ooh, creepypasta picture, great, this is good, and that was great. And then like again, I think that the imagery of like the light coming as it bounces all around
Yeah.
you and stuff like that was
The
fantastic.
laser
I was like, I
ghosts?
love that.
You
Yeah,
like the laser ghosts?
That was
Yeah.
I did like them. I thought that was really fun.
It was funny. I was chuckling at it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
But it was
Just
in a
like, this
good
is just
absurd.
fantastic.
It was a good absurd. It wasn't like the
Yeah.
shitty absurd of the first episode. It was actually like, you know what? That in that episode, like watching that first half would have made me really get like go like, ha, okay, this might be good. But then we get
Right.
to the second half. And then I'm like, okay. Like, what the fuck? Because now this is like real Ito weirdness. The bus, we never, and that's the great thing. One of the great things about this is that they don't explain too much. It's very much like short Twilight Zone episodes, to where the Twilight Zone they don't really explain anything. They're just like, yeah, here's a story. You have to believe that this is how that universe works in it. Same
Right.
thing with like the Outer Limits. Like you have to believe it, and then the story ends, but there's no real like actual ending for it. Just like, yep, there you go. That's the end of the episode. We're never coming back.
Just
So
enough of
Good
that
luck.
the little hints everywhere that this is
Yep.
something that's going on, and then you piece it together enough just to find out at the very end how everyone's going to die,
Yeah.
and have a nice day.
because what the fuck is up with the conductor? We have no idea who the driver of this bus is. He just shows up. He's a really nice guy. He gives all the kids ice cream. Then he drives them around town. They eat ice cream on the bus, brings them back to the family. It's totally fine. Sure, there's a mountain of strawberry ice cream in the middle of the bus that everybody's eating off of. It's mildly disgusting.
It's totally fine.
Not the ice cream. The fact that all the kids are eating off it at the same time and licking it. Like the licking animation was pretty disturbing. I'm not
That
gonna
was
lie.
unnecessary. That was what was the real scary part of that whole thing.
It was.
It was just
that
all
was
the licking.
That was the most disturbing part about it. Followed closely second by the germs of all the kids licking that ice cream mound all at the same time.
I mean, they were all ignoring. They were all ignoring the food safety rating of D on the side of that bus, and that was already their first mistake.
Was there really one? If they put,
No.
oh, dude, no, like, honestly, if that was a tiny thing that I missed, I would have been like, holy shit, that would have been great.
That would have been
In
amazing.
the window is just a D. And nobody cares because the kids are getting free ice cream. The kids are leaving the parents alone for a while. It's a
Yeah, no,
win-win
thank God.
situation. They're like, fuck it. How bad could it be? But so the kid...
They always come back happy.
Yes. Always come back happy. And the
Super
kid
happy.
was like a little shit. Like
Yep.
he was a little
Oh, yeah.
shit for like he was acting much younger than he really was from what I could tell.
He looked
from,
like he was like
the animation.
10 or 11.
Yeah. And I'm like, but he was
And it
acting
was
like
just
a
like
4-year-old.
he's acting like a 4-year-old. Yeah. I was just
Yeah.
like, all right, dude.
So the kid gets happy from it. That's fine. He makes friends. That's great. You know, everything's good. And then all of a sudden the dad comes home and all the kids are quiet, but they're all there and they've turned into ice cream. And the one son is eating all of them as he slowly turns to ice cream. And he
Jimmy tastes like chocolate.
and he goes to push him away. And he fucking rips his head off.
Splats on the ground, back of the head explodes, and the tongue is still out.
Yep.
And I was just like, my God. That is just,
Little Timmy tastes like
Great.
strawberries.
oh. Imagine, you just decapitated your son, and he exploded into flame.
Yeah, not even that. You come home, your son is basically committing cannibalism as he's
Knowingly.
turning into a pile of goo, and then you decapitate him on accident. Like that
It's not
poor
like he just
dad.
thinks this pile's ice cream. He knows they're his friends.
Yeah.
I just calling out their names. It's like, oh, he tastes like chocolate. He tastes like strawberry. He tastes like vanilla. This one tastes like Rocky Road.
Which brings the question, was it actually ice cream in the mound on the bus, or did he throw bodies onto the floor that then the kids ate at that point too?
Yeah. No, the way I think is that those are other dead children.
That's what I was assuming, but I figured I'd ask and get somebody else's opinion on it as well, just in case.
Because it highlights more when the son was just like, see, this is why my tongue's all red, because I was eating strawberry ice cream the whole time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She's like, no.
Oh,
That's flesh.
that's blood.
That's what that was. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you went crazy.
And you went crazy.
You're eating human flesh, and that's what cannibalism does to you.
Because your daddy was just like, sure, get on this stranger that's giving you free candy. Get on this bus.
Whoa, okay. I'm like phrasing there. Dad told you get on this stranger that's giving you free
stranger's
candy.
bus.
Whoa. Well, the dad. Okay. The dad at least, like, he sat there and he's like, no. I don't want. He was good. I don't want you to ruin your appetite. And then like all the other parents were letting their kids do it. So at that point, I would look at it and possibly go, okay, well, maybe it's safe, I guess. The kids all made it back. Like, they all came back. And never once, and that's the one thing of, like, were those dead bodies or was that ice cream? Because no one said, like, Tommy got on the bus but then didn't come back.
Right.
So, at least there's that.
Like, there's more stuff going on. I mean, because there was more stuff going on. Like, more than just the kid was turning to ice cream. Like when he picked up the blocks, it was just like, what's going on? Why is the floor sticky? That there was that blob of ice cream that I assumed was some kid that ice creamified, walking up the stairs or whatever. And the dad's just like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
And walked on by like no big deal.
So there's something going on, and we will never know what it is, because Junji Ito is good at just giving us the most fucked up thing that he can think of at that time, and then never explaining any of it.
And then the bus looks at you.
Yeah, the bus looks at you too. That's another weird one. That was like one of those weird little things at the end of it. You're like, all right, cool, I guess. You're next. Oh man. Okay, so the Sandman's Lair. That was like the short one at the end of episode 4. That like barely got anything. Dude can't fall asleep. When he does fall asleep, he turns inside out.
I don't think it happened yet. I think it was just like, if I do, he's trying to get out. And
but it's like if he does fall asleep, he turns inside out. And that was probably the weirdest part about it, is that his shoulder looked like a sphincter, and he had a hand coming out of his mouth.
Just went full on inside out.
Yeah, like it just it's like no, this is my skin now. And then suddenly like the bones went on the other side of the skin. And then he gets his girlfriend to come over and make sure he stays away.
Pulls it out and then like pulls out the fingers.
Yep.
Pop, pop, pop. Or you're pulling out a glove.
Yeah, helps him out.
Like playing with an old Stretch Armstrong.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. Like playing with an old Stretch Armstrong. But then she gets sucked inside him.
Some powerful suction.
Nah, I'm going with you.
Yeah. She just gets sucked inside of him, and then the cops show up, and they're like, "We're looking for her. Whose purse is that?" He's like, "I ate her," and that's it.
Yeah, she became my organs. Find her. Yeah.
Did you eat her? Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, I absorbed her. Does that count?
She's in my dream space.
Yeah, that's right. Such a weird like little bit to add in there. It's just like, I always dreamed of flying. I even put wings on once and tried, and it still didn't work. So now this guy's trying to get out. He's just like, okay.
Maybe it's because he gave up on his dreams. And
100%. And now all he loves is his girlfriend, and the dream dude's just like, yeah, we're gonna get that girlfriend. But at the end of the day, he didn't get the girlfriend because he just put it back inside. And the only thing that else is inside is the original guy, because now he's just the inside.
Now he got her.
So are they fine?
He got her. He got her. He's where she can't escape him. He's where he can
Got it.
keep tabs on her all the time inside him, in his
Normal
belly.
controlling
Yeah, all
boyfriend.
inside that.
Oh man, so
You got all put inside that?
okay, so if we break this down into halves, we've got 3 out of 5, or 3 to 5, 3 out of 8 was shit, but then the 5 out of 8 was really good. So I'd call that a win, right?
3 out
We
of
have to
8.
break it.
but,
Well, we
like,
have to break
so-
it into halves because there's so many like half
Oh, I see what you're
episodes.
saying.
Yeah.
I see what
So
you're
it's
saying.
like the strange Hazuki siblings. That's 2 halves. The hanging balloon. That's 2 halves. But that was all good. The story of the mysterious tunnel and the ice cream bus was all good, and the Sandman's lair was good. But Four Walls sucked balls, and Strange Hazuki siblings was honestly, I don't even know if I can call it a solid. It's a
Garbage.
runny 2.
It is like unnecessary in
Yeah.
every way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
Like I said, at least the Four Walls was just like had the weirdness,
And it had
like,
the carpenter.
had the carpenter, who was also weird. Like, it's just like, all right, there's some stuff going on here, and the imagery of the sibling, with him chewing the nails and his teeth and stuff like that. There was some
And it's like his
fucked up
eyes and
shit
stuff
going
like
on
that.
with this
Like,
guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I already talked about what he was
And
actually all about or
Dad is
doing.
just
Just
like whatever.
yeah,
His
like-
best friend is just like whatever.
Well, the nail
You can't
kid,
control him.
I feel like I've seen him in a couple of things. I think he was like a recurring thing with Ito, because then he also appears in the credits
right
as
he's
well.
in the credits.
So if I remember right, he's like a recurring figure in there. But man, they did him a disservice by being just a fucking little shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then like so at the very beginning he's walking through the forest with a
Yeah.
straw doll. They don't clarify that at all. Same
But
thing
I
with
think-
the other sibling family too. They're burning a body. What the fuck was that about?
Who knows? But yeah, so hopefully it continues more on the good parts than the bad ones. We've got let's see here. The next one is Intruder and Long Hair in the Attic, then Mold Library Vision, Toontown, Layers of Terror, and The Thing That Drifted Ashore.
All right.
So, and I thought when I looked at the
Promises.
what?
Some promises in those names.
Yeah. Well, and I thought when I looked at The Thing That Drifted Ashore that it was an adaptation of another story, but it's a different one. Unless I read this one too, and I just am not remembering it, because I've read some Junji Ito like manga, and they're fucked up and crazy. But yeah, it's super. I have high hopes now. I did not after the end of episode 1.
100%.
Mhm.
100% agree with you.
That was-
I am now more cautiously optimistic for sure.
Episode 1 got like about 5 minutes in. I was like, looking at my
Mhm.
phone, playing a game, watching this.
Luckily, I
Hating life.
had the D-backs game on at the same time, so like, D-backs, how you guys doing?
All right, so next week we're gonna watch episodes next episode we're gonna watch episodes 5 through 8, which will be in about a week and a half. We gotta figure out. I have a business trip that week, so we might be able to do it. Depends on what my work schedule is, because we did it once already where I took my microphone and I just ran it through my laptop that has NVIDIA Broadcast on it, so it didn't matter. So we'll see what we do. Otherwise, we may end up having like another like Wednesday or Thursday episode. We'll see from here. All right, Jason, blog roll us out.
Hey, you. Yes, you. If you're listening to us or watching us live on Twitch, you know what? Thank you for joining us and being here with us. And you know what? We love you. Thank you so much. And obviously, what you're watching right now is Cutscene, where we talk about our animes and stuff like that we're all watching. If you didn't know that already, well, we're not just fucked up people, we're watching a fucked up anime. So go watch the Junji Ito's what is it called? Not
Maniac.
Macabre. No, Maniac on Netflix right now, and you'll be able to get caught up real fast. And then you can kind of go what the fuck with us, for the next couple of weeks while we watch this thing. You can also share your crazy thoughts and stories about this whole crazy anime and other animes that you think that we should watch by emailing us at cutscene@ibeatitfirst.com. That's cutscene@ibeatitfirst.com. Now, what is ibeatitfirst.com? Well, that's us, silly. We're ibeatitfirst.com, and you can figure out all about us. Silly goose, silly Billy. You can figure out all about us by going to ibeatitfirst.com, which is our website. It's crazy how that works out. And you can see what we're all about, including our entire library of available podcasts for you. That's right. We have a whole library, a bunch, actually. 3 of them, if I'm being very specific, each almost over 100 episodes.
Well,
like at least
the
Cutscene
third
and
one's not.
I Beat It First one.
Yeah.
The third one's kind of like peppered in there that we'll count it. So we have obviously Cutscene that you're listening to right now. We have our I Beat It First podcast, which is our primary podcast. I don't know, our mother podcast, where we talk about video games and tech and all kinds of stuff like that. Flagship podcast? Sure, I like that better. Where we talk about tech and news of video games and nerd culture in general. Basically everything but anime, because we have Cutscene to talk anime, which is nice. We then also have Patch Notes, where we pull aside small indie devs and talk to them about their projects they're working on. Obviously what they're working on for video games, but then about what other projects they're working on in their life. Are they building a new deck? Do they need help understanding a certain recipe? We're there for them. Everyone asks what an indie dev is doing. We're the only one that asks how an indie dev is doing. So we're happy to have them on there and have those great conversations with them. It's a lot of fun. While you're at our website, please also click on our on our top banners there we have for you. Obviously, our Discord channel that you can join in there, where we're all talking mad crap in there all the time, and so you can come on in and interact with us anytime you want to. I'm back in there. I'm finally have Discord back open. I've been gone for a long time because I've been so not caring. But I'm back. No problem. But Chris and Eric do a really good job of actually being in there and stuff like that. You can also click on our donate button, where we go into all of our stuff. Basically, all that we do here at I Beat It First is for charity and for the kids. And so obviously, if you have any discretionary funds, please do click on our Extra Life banner if you're watching us on Twitch, or click on our donation tab right there, where you can donate to our Extra Life channels for Phoenix Children's Hospital, or donate anything through our Throne accounts, which is really kind of cool. Throne actually goes straight to the children, doesn't come to us. Really cool setup that's set up that way. Good job, Eric. Obviously, like I said, you can still email us anything you want at ibeatitfirst.com. That could be Chris, Jason, Eric at ibeatitfirst.com. We'd love to hear from you, hear what you think. What you think about this anime, what you think about past animes, what animes we should watch next. Obviously, we've watched a whole bunch. If you're on our website, you can see, like, hot damn, they have like 120 episodes, and it's true. We do. We've watched a lot of stuff. We've done a lot of crap for nothing more than the love of you. So please let us know what you think, what we should do, and anything like that. Obviously, if you are watching us on Twitch, we try to do this every Monday night. Usually, today's not a Monday night,
Thank
but
God.
thank God, right? But we do try to do it. You can obviously find us at twitch.tv/ibeatitfirst. All of our socials, I Beat It First in some way, shape, or form. You'll find it. You can get to it. We'll trust you to handle that. Just because I assume we're not your first internet exposure. If we are your first internet exposure, dear sweet Jesus, welcome to the internet.
Oh, I also forgot to point out, because we talked about this before we went live with the recording and whatnot. But if you're watching on Twitch and you look at Chris and his background, that is Junji Ito. The center center guy doing the nya nya with the cat ears on is Junji Ito. And the juxtaposition of him and what he draws is hilarious. But it's the same thing of like the difference between Miyazaki, who draws like the most fantastical, like beautiful things, and hates the world and thinks that everything's going to shit. So it's just one of those fun things. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us. We will be back next week for the I Beat It First podcast as well. Oh, Chris has it up there. As well as our Extra Life Game Day next Saturday, November 4th, here on twitch.tv/I Beat It First, where we will be going 24 hours raising money for charity. 100% of the charity donations going to Phoenix Children's Hospital. So show up and make us eat spicy gumballs and shit like that. Like I don't know. I think we're gonna do like shots of hot sauce and all sorts of weird things. We gotta talk about that stuff. Get that all planned out. But make sure you come in for that. Midnight to midnight Mountain Standard Time. next Saturday, November 4th. All right. Well, we can't end any podcast without Chris saying,
Don't get on strangers' ice cream buses.
that's sound advice.
Sound advice. I agree.
Recording stopped.
All right. We'll go ahead and raid out to Daft since he is still streaming. He's not always streaming. But thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us. Get ready to say hello to Daft. He is
I
playing...
think he just dropped.
Did he? Oh, he just raided into M. Son of a biscuit. M's playing Valorant. We're not raiding into Valorant. I have scruples. I have actual fucking, shit, what's the word? I can't even think of the word because I don't have it. I have morals? No, not morals. I don't know. I got nothing. And that's how much I think about rating into someone playing Valorant. So we're going to go ahead and just end. Yep. I actually might pop back on in about 20 minutes to play more Class of 09. So if you see me go live again, everybody, we were playing Class of 09, the re-up last night. We made crack for a civics project and sold it. Actually sold crack, got arrested by the cops and went to prison for 4 years. And that was surprisingly the only bad ending that we had for Nicole. Everything else has turned out pretty rosy for her. Not for everybody else, though. Man, she fucked up some people.
Crack does it.
Yep.
No, not with the crack. She just fucked up some people with her horrible brain. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.